Thank you, Jesse. Aren't we lucky to have him? And didn't you compose that music?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's very creative. We're lucky, as I said, to have him as part of our evening tonight. So, good evening, and welcome to the second annual performance of the Fern Street Play Festival. And of course, this is the Universalist Church of West Hartford. Raise your hand if you've never been here before. Oh, somebody just took my picture. Okay. Okay, thank you for coming. We hope that this will be the second of many performances of this play festival over the years, and in 24, 25 years, you can say you were here at the beginning. My name is Patrice Fitzgerald, and I, along with Gretchen Fountain, who is over here, Richard Leslie, over there, and Jennifer Madison, right there, plus our former lifespan religious educator, Patricia McKee, and her husband, Jim Taylor, read more than 250 scripts from around the U.S. and several foreign countries. One of our winners actually lives in New Zealand. Her play and the others left us so impressed that we decided to present 9 of them over 2 nights. We're thrilled with the efforts of all the playwrights as well as our extraordinary volunteers, and we thank them. And after a whirlwind of finding the actors, assigning the roles, and rehearsing, we pulled it all together, or we think we did, we hope we did. And there's never enough time. You know, you get to the end of the time you have and you say, well, it's a show, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. But it's been wonderfully rewarding, and we are proud to be able to share 5 plays with you tonight, and we did 4 plus the grand prize winner last night as well. So 4 of these are new, if you were here last night as well. Oh, and I don't think we were expecting any playwrights tonight, but if you're one of the playwrights, oh, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Tell me your name again, because I haven't put all the faces with the...
Well, you're in my place, so Michelle Miller.
Of course, it's Michelle A. Miller. Thank you so much for coming, Michelle. So before I introduce our minister, Reverend Dr. Adam Robersmith, let me remind you the basics. Turn off your cell phones, please, so you won't be the one that makes the noise in the middle of the play. We have bathrooms here. We have one back there. I never know whether to call that the front or the back of the church. We have one behind me and to the left, way back there. And we have several downstairs. We're going to have a brief intermission of probably 5 or so minutes. And we have bottled water and candy. You'll forgive us if some of it is left over from Halloween. And just please don't bring any food into the sanctuary. Bottles of water are okay as long as you don't spill them. Keep the cap on. We'll have 2 more plays after the break, including the grand prize winner. And then we'd love to have a little conversation with you. So please now welcome Reverend Adam.
Thank you, Patrice. So welcome to our sacred performance space, also known as our sanctuary. We do have worship in this space, but it is really a wonderful venue, a wonderful room for presentations of all kinds. And so we're thrilled to have these 5 one-act plays this evening for you to enjoy. We're especially pleased to be doing this here because the Universalist Church has a long history with theater, presenting community theater and supporting that work among our members and out in the community. But we also know how important the arts are to making the world a better place, to helping us realize that the world is bigger and broader than what we normally experience every day, and that theater allows us to experience something other than we ourselves find in our lives. We are able to get to know other people, get to know other circumstances, fictional and non-fictional. In this moment in our country, I think anything that helps us be able to think about the world and think about other people is a wonderful thing. And so I'm especially glad that we're doing this weekend. The pieces that are being performed tonight, as well as yesterday, deal with themes of memory and violence, love and connection, surprise and humor, and acting for what is right. As you heard, the performances will have an intermission in the middle, a moment for you to catch your breath and your thoughts, and then at the end of the evening, we will have an opportunity for some discussion. So a time for you, the audience, to ask questions of our directors and our cast, and an opportunity for our cast and directors to share with you their experiences of creating these remarkable works. The 5 that we heard last night were of much higher quality than I would ever expect for such a small festival as this one. And so I am delighted and so looking forward to this evening as well. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy.
Shipwrecked by Michelle Wallerstein. Plays a park bench in Washington Square on a sunny afternoon. Alec, dressed in suit and tie, sits on the bench, lost in thought. He holds a big plastic bag. Jessica, carrying a sandwich, approaches and hesitates before talking to him.
Do you mind sharing your bench?
It's not mine to share, but I'm sure the city will be fine with you sitting on one of its fine benches.
I thought perhaps you were waiting for someone. I was just being polite.
Oh, I'm sorry. No one is coming. Please, do sit down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I walk through the park almost every day, but I never take the time to actually sit, and relax. But today I thought to myself, Jessica, that's my name, Jessica. I thought, Jessica, today is such a beautiful day, you simply must take the time to sit in the park and take it all in. The day, the park, the sun. And since all the other benches are taken, I thought I'd give this one a try and sit.
And yet you're still standing.
Yes, sorry, I'm just not used to that.
Sitting down?
No, talking to strangers.
I'm Alec.
Ugh.
See? No longer strangers.
Oh, that's not necessary. We don't have to actually meet.
Fine. Forget I said anything and then enjoy your day.
Jessica opens her purse, takes out a napkin, puts it on her lap, and starts eating her sandwich. She notices a squirrel coming too close to her and suddenly starts shaking breadcrumbs off her skirt.
Go away! Oh, go away! Shoo! Go away!
They won't bite. They're just a little fresh is all. Best if you don't feed them.
I would never. I hate squirrels. He just startled me is all.
Maybe he's a she.
Ugh, he's a he, all right. I mean, look at him, all cocky and nicely groomed without a care in the world, while the female is stuck at the nest taking care of the kittens.
Kittens?
Yes, that's what you call baby squirrels, kits or kittens. And the nests are called drays.
You seem to know a lot about squirrels for someone who hates them so much.
I teach biology, and my students, the few of them who care, well, they can be quite inquisitive about, the world around them. So I'm full of useless information like that.
A high school teacher. You must have the patience of an angel.
Sometimes.
So what else can you tell me about squirrels?
Well, the minute the kits are born, the male leaves the nest. He moves to a nest of his own and leaves all the rearing to the female.
Really?
Yes, really. And you should see the male nest. It's disgusting. But the female, of course, always keeps the family clean, and the kids are fed and well taken care of. But once the kids are grown, they abandon the female, who sacrificed everything for them, and then she finds herself alone and useless.
We are talking about squirrels, right?
Of course. Why?
Just checking. You said kids, so I thought maybe...
I did not. I said kits. Kits, not kids. Kits.
I must have heard wrong. But are you sure all male squirrels leave their mates when the babies are born? Maybe some of them stick around and help out.
Never. The kits are born and the male leaves, and he's free to screw any female he chooses.
I'm sorry.
What for?
The female squirrel?
Oh, she's fine. She's used to it. Her mother warned her about this. It's the way of the world.
Well, I never left.
You're not a squirrel.
Thank you for noticing.
You're still married?
Yes. No. He left me.
He? Oh, I'm sorry.
That he's a he, or that he left me?
I'm sorry. Your husband left you, of course.
I'm only teasing, dear. Besides, we weren't married. Well, not in the legal sense, anyway. We got together so many years ago. Marriage was definitely not an option then. And when it finally became legal, well, we were already well into our 50s. And I think we were afraid marriage would jinx our relationship. And now...
I'm sorry. Oh, this is awkward. I'm awkward, or so my husband keeps telling me.
Oh, so he hasn't left the nest.
Yes, he has. Well, it just takes me a while to get used to the word ex-husband. But he's gone. He left. Today. Officially. For good. It's over.
I'm so sorry.
I am not. I can't wait to finally watch whatever I damn please on Netflix. No more empty beer cans to pick up around the apartment. No more snoring. Trust me, it's a good thing. Really, I'll finally understand the meaning of the word quiet. I feel liberated.
Good. So why don't you sit back down and finish your sandwich? I promise to be quiet if that's what you need.
I am shipwrecked and I don't know how to make it to shore.
What did you say? Is it you? Is it you? Because if it is, it's way too soon. I'm not ready.
I don't understand.
This will never work. What were you thinking?
All I wanted to do was sit in the park and eat a sandwich in peace.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Please don't go, Jessica. Hey, maybe the shore isn't as far as you think.
How would you know?
Please, sit down. Look, all the other benches are still taken. They always are on a nice day like today. We both got lucky finding this one, so don't give it up so easily. You know, you and I have more in common than you think.
We do?
Like you, I've spent countless hours in this park for many, many years, and yet today is also my first time sitting in one of its benches.
How come?
You see that Japanese maple over there?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I planted it about 8 years ago. And those rose bushes over there, that's me as well.
So, you're a landscaper?
Retired, 7 years now.
You make things grow. You give life. How wonderful. Every plant that ever crosses my path takes one look at me and dies almost instantly.
You've given life too. You have children, don't you?
What makes you think that?
The squirrels.
Oh, that. You must think I'm crazy.
Aren't we all? A little?
My husband did leave the nest. So did my children. I suppose I should be grateful that unlike the male squirrel, he did wait for the kids to be fully grown before leaving. And now I really must go. Goodbye, Alec. It's been unusual.
I can't go home. Jessica.
Why? Did you lock yourself out?
That's one way of looking at it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
David, my non-husband, my lover of 50 years, I buried him today. And now I can't go home.
Good God, Alec. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say.
You see, there's more than one shipwreck on this bench.
I suppose that explains why you're dressed so formally.
I haven't worn a suit in at least 12 years.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
What did you mean when you said it's too soon? I'm not ready?
David always said that I wouldn't last a day without him. We met on my 25th birthday, and we haven't been a day apart since. I turn 77 next week.
Good God, what an accomplishment.
I call it a blessing.
Was he ill? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
He said I'd be shipwrecked after. So he promised he'd send someone for me, someone to help me back to shore. So when I heard you use that same word, I thought perhaps...
It's only a word.
Not a common one.
I'm very, very sorry for your loss. But surely you can't believe in such childish things. I mean, there is nothing out there. You must know that. There's no God, no angels, no Santa Claus, no fairies, no nothing. And the fact that your partner and I used a similar metaphor means nothing at all. It's all random. Everything in life is all random. There is no rhyme or reason for anything. Nothing.
Well, thank you for your kind words of encouragement.
I mean, come on. I'm sorry, but you know nothing about me.
Oh, but I do. I know your name is Jessica and that your husband just left you. I know you hate squirrels and that you say, you know, and I'm sorry a lot when you're nervous.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean that you and I are going to, love each other.
Who said anything about love? David gave me enough love to last me 2 lifetimes. All I'm saying is maybe we can help each other make it through the night.
Wait a minute. Is that night as in spend the night together? Or night as, in the dark times?
I think I made a mistake.
I mean, you say you're gay, but maybe it's just a ruse to, for all I know, there never was a David,
I think you should leave now.
I'm sorry, but this is New York City. I mean, you seem like a nice man and all, but,
No, I don't know. I don't know and I don't care to. I come from a time and place where people could reach out to each other and show compassion and help each other.
I'm sorry. What about friends or family?
I don't want to be with anyone who knew David. I don't want anyone talking to me about him or reminding me of him. I can't. Not yet, anyway.
I am sorry.
Yes, you've said that.
I'll go now.
You've said that too. You're right. There's probably nothing out there, and both you and David use the same metaphor. That's just some stupid coincidence, and I am a silly old fool for believing there's magic out there. There really is no fool like an old fool.
Please, don't say that. I feel terrible. My husband is right. I am not a people person.
Amen to that.
Perhaps, if you go home, he'll come to you. Like in a dream.
I thought you believed in nothing.
I don't. But what I do know, maybe there is something out there after all. Maybe the people we loved never really quite leave us.
You don't believe that.
But you do.
Meet me here tomorrow, and I'll tell you whether David visited me or not.
Oh, you don't want to see me again. I'm toxic.
You're a cynic and I'm sentimental. We can help each other. Tomorrow, same time, same bench. You can tell me how it felt to be home on your own watching your favorite programs.
The bench will be taken. Like you said, everyone wants to be out in this weather.
If it's meant to be, this very bench will be available to us.
You really are an old fool.
I'll bet you anything the bench will be waiting for us tomorrow. If it's not, we both keep on walking our separate ways and we'll never see each other again. How's that?
All right, fine. You're on. Should the bench be taken, which I'm sure it will be, I wish you well, Alec.
I'll see you tomorrow, Jessica.
Goodbye.
Until tomorrow.
Alec takes a sign out of his big plastic bag, puts it on the bench, and walks away. The sign reads, "Wet paint, do not sit." Curtain. Kaylee and Adeline by Elizabeth Shannon. Kaylee and Adeline stand on a nearly blank stage.
Kaylee
And Adeline,
inseparable,
basically the same person,
except not really. Kaylee
And Adeline,
Kaylee May
and Adeline Francis,
Shaw. Kaylee
and Adeline
were born on October 22nd, 2004 at 4:53 a.m. Well, Kaylee was
Adeline was born 6 minutes later,
4:59 a.m. Kaylee was older,
but Adeline was just a hair taller.
Kaylee got everything.
At least Adeline secretly thought so.
Kaylee May had the prettier middle name,
Adeline Francis was just an afterthought.
the name picked out of a baby book.
When their parents found out they were having twins.
But nobody needed to know that.
Except everyone could almost tell.
How one was always,
Second place.
except they were identical twins, very incredibly identical. Absolutely no way to tell them apart. To this day, no one can.
They think their best friend, Gianna, just guesses.
They respond to both, even their parents.
Are you
Kaylee
or Adeline?
Kaylee
And Adeline
have all the same hobbies. Figure skating,
Then dance,
then somehow,
soccer.
Kaylee is goalie.
Adeline is striker.
The only way to tell them apart, boys won't date them.
They're scared,
The girls would trick them.
which is fair.
They probably would. Kaylee,
And Adeline,
you're
perfect.
sideshow-esque twins. We aren't conjoined.
Maybe if we were, Kaylee'd be a better goalie.
But the people basically look at us like we're glued together. Kaylee,
And Adeline,
freaks.
half a brain in each of them.
Impossible to tell apart.
Does Adeline ever even talk?
It's probably hard.
When you're the and
Kaylee,
Adeline,
Kaylee,
and Adeline,
always the first.
always the afterthought.
And what would it have been like?
If our parents had said,
Adeline and Kaylee. Weird. Kaylee,
and Adeline,
don't have the same schedule.
It was mostly for their teacher's sake.
No one could ever learn who was who. So, for a brief moment, they are Kaylee and Adeline.
And Kaylee and Adeline.
Instead of Kaylee.
And Adeline.
And on October 5th, 2022,
Just 17 days short of their 18th birthdays.
Kaylee was sitting in calculus.
And Adeline was sitting in AP Lang.
When
Gunshots. Adeline cowers behind her desk chair. There are faint sounds of ambulances and screaming in the distance. Kaylee is gone.
Kaylee and Adeline. Adeline. Just Adeline. Some people, not at school, but other places, they don't know better. They ask, are you Kaylee or Adeline? Or just, are you Kaylee? She always got out more. But no, I am Adeline. And then they ask, oh, what's Kaylee up to? Why aren't you together? Such a simple question. What do I tell them? How am I supposed to say? Kaylee was always better at talking to people. Maybe she'd know the right thing to do. And I don't want to break their hearts, so I almost want to lie to say it was a joke that I am Kaylee. Maybe they would never figure out the truth. But I have to tell them that I am just Adeline. I still hear her sometimes. I still see her. I feel her. And at her funeral, the casket was closed. It had to be. But I saw people looking at me as if they were imagining me in there, trying to piece together what it would look like. Or as if they were seeing Kaylee there, her ghost, her spirit, or maybe her alive. And they were secretly, silently wishing that it was Kaylee and not Adeline who survived. And my mama still messes it up sometimes. Shouts up the stairs, starts with her name. And now it's just Adeline. And Adeline. And Adeline. And Adeline. 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 Adeline.
Curtain. You have got to be kidding.
Not kidding.
I get it. A child. A kid. Kidding, right?
Nope, I kid you not.
So, a kid. A baby goat? Seriously, an actual child. A baby. Me, now. What a good one. No way. I'm 90 years old. Dried up, empty, barren, infertile. This ground cannot be sowed. I'm completely fallow, you get it? Just not gonna happen.
You are forgetting I'm an angel. I'm representing the big one up there. Age has no meaning to us.
Well, it does to me. 90 long years on this earth down here. I'm exhausted. What makes you think I'd want a baby now?
Don't you? You're a woman.
So,
Motherhood, it's your destiny.
aren't there any other paths to destiny? Can't I fight a dragon or lead armies to war or something?
But you are the future matriarch of the Jewish people.
Matriarch. That sounds rigid and boring. No thanks.
Don't you have maternal instincts?
A long time ago, I thought I wanted children. And remember, I wept and prayed.
And your prayers have been answered.
60 years later. What took you so long? I'm over it already.
Sorry, we've been backlogged. It's been crazy. All these prayers and requests from the Egyptians, the Canaanites, the Sumerians. Because of your husband, actually.
Abraham? How so?
Those pagans look at Abraham and want what he's got. Thousands of goats, huge herds of camel, storehouses of grain, and the remarkable fecundity of your people. One little tribe, and now you've taken over the entire land. Can't spit 2 feet, and you run into a Jew.
Fecundity of most of our people, except me. My tent stayed empty. 60 years you kept me waiting while you listened to the prayers of those Gentiles.
We had to give them something. They saw how your people were prospering, and some of them realized, why keep praying to all their useless statues when there is the one?
You answered their prayers first?
A marketing move. You Israelites were already worshiping the one. So Yahweh thought it would be a good idea to throw the pagans a few miracles. We can't just depend on you Jews being fruitful and multiplying. We need converts.
But those are our enemies.
Yahweh has no enemies.
Except Ra and Anu, of course.
Yahweh eats them for breakfast.
But it took 6 decades to get me pregnant.
Well, you got to put some of that blame on Abraham. He hasn't exactly been visiting your tent too often these last few days.
Thank God.
God says you're welcome. But for what?
Abraham now has Hagar to keep him company.
You don't mind?
Mind. I was the one who suggested their arrangement. Abraham and I have always been more like brother and sister, if you know what I mean.
Half-sister and wife.
That's not what my husband told Pharaoh, remember? He said I was his sister because Pharaoh had taken a shine to me and might have offed my husband so he could wed me himself. Brave husband of mine decided he would pawn me off as his sister instead.
We protected you, remember? Pharaoh let you go.
Right, thanks. Otherwise, I would have been stuck in that huge alabaster palace with the powerful, sexy Egyptian king and meals of sweet fruits and rich meats and hundreds of slaves fulfilling my every wish. The horror. So thankful you saved me so I could live in a tent in the desert with my goat-herding old man and 1,000 rules about what we get to eat and when.
Okay, I get it. It hasn't all been, a picnic these years in the desert. But I'm here now to let you know you're a child. Isn't that amazing?
Unbelievable.
I specialize in unbelievable.
So now this worn-out body of mine will be expected to support a growing creature for 9 whole months?
You want to do it in less? I could call it a miracle.
And rush to give birth? No thanks.
Come on, you have to do this.
Is that an order?
I wish. The Holy One insists you must accept your fate. So, what do you say? Please? Before I have to answer to the one above.
Sorry, I'm not ready.
Not ready? You just said it's been 60 years.
But having a baby now with this body?
You'll be fine.
Easy for you to say. You ever birth a baby? I've been midwife to hundreds of births, and let me tell you, they aren't for the faint of heart. All that screaming and blood, and the poop. No one likes to talk about the poop. Nope, I'm not doing it. You can keep this baby.
You don't mean that.
I don't. Tell me one good reason I should have this child.
You don't have a choice.
I don't, but you just said, and it's my body.
But it'll be 5,000 years before a woman has the right to choose will be legal. And 50 years later, it'll be illegal again. So it seems like you're having this baby.
At least tell me, boy or girl?
Boy, next leader of the Israelites.
Abraham already has Ishmael.
Ishmael will go on to lead his own people, but Abraham needs an heir by his legitimate wife.
Abraham needs. What about me? I'm a busy woman these days. I've got my own goat herd that I'm breeding to make softer fur. I'm sick of these heavy, itchy goat hair blankets. You ever try to sleep under one of those? My little kids, the goat kind, you should feel the silky hair on their little bellies. I'll sleep in comfort now.
We sleep in the clouds.
You're just rubbing it in. But my design gets even better. I've come up with a more efficient way to spin all that soft wool, too. Faster and easier than finger twisting. All you need is a little weight, a rock with a hole in it will do. And then send it twirling like this. And it practically spins itself. Isn't that neat?
You figured that out on your own?
You're surprised. Because I'm a woman?
Because you're human. Your kind don't often seem that smart, honestly.
Well, that's not all. I've developed this new machine, I'm calling it a loom, that will help us women weave faster and more evenly. Just feel this.
Ooh, heavenly. I should bring this up there where it belongs.
Don't get any ideas.
You dare defy the Lord? You've been given a divine gift, a blessed child. And you laugh? This isn't a joke.
Laugh, cry. Do you have any idea how busy I am? Besides the blankets I'm working on a new grain that we ferment to a special drink that takes your worries away and is cheaper than wine. And you don't even have to do a blessing with it.
No blessings? What blasphemy?
Us worker bees have had enough with giving thanks for the fruits of our labor. Worker bees are all female, did you know?
I haven't been paying attention.
Exactly. You're up there with your boss, being exalted by Abraham and his priests, while the women are doing most of the work. We've been taking inventory of all the herbs that grow over this land and determining how they can be used. Food, seasoning, or salve. Do you know, if you eat this leaf raw, it'll sear your insides, but if you boil it, the green water is a perfect antiseptic for wounds.
Of course I know that. I'm an angel. I know everything.
Sure you do, only that was a different leaf. This one's just delicious in salad. Yum.
Well, I know one thing. You're going to have a baby in 9 months. How about that?
And what if I don't?
You will.
Just name one good reason why I should.
He'll bury you and say prayers after you die.
Who cares? I'll already be dead.
Your name will live on through history.
I'll still be dead.
He'll be the next leader of the Israelites.
Still not a woman.
Come on, be serious.
What then? Why should I have this child?
He's awfully cute.
Gag.
And sweet.
Growth.
He'll call you mom.
Everyone here already calls me mother.
Respect.
I don't need a baby to get respect. I earn it.
Fine, then do it for me.
For you. Why?
Do you have any idea what will happen if I go back up there and you don't end up having this baby? The Blessed One will toss me out on my keister.
Oh no, you'll end up in hell?
Worse, I'd end up here with you all.
Like that's so bad?
Please help me. I don't have the constitution to be human. Raising goats, spinning, weaving, growing grain, I can't do that. Please, it's just one baby. You're strong. You'll hardly notice.
Easy for you to say.
I promise, no morning sickness, no varicose veins, the easiest pregnancy and birth ever.
And then only 18 years hard labor to raise him.
Abraham will help.
Ha! That old goat. Abraham is older than me. He can barely tighten his own sandals.
But he's going to adore his son.
Fine. Then Abraham can give birth to him.
He can't do that.
Why not? The Lord can do anything, right? If a 90-year-old woman can have a baby, why can't a 100-year-old man?
There are certain laws of the universe.
Who makes those laws? Your boss.
And my boss has decided you will have a son. So please help me. You're a woman. You can handle this. I can't.
Maybe one little baby might not be so bad.
And he's going to grow into a fine boy, a real mensch.
A mensch. Maybe finally a man who values the women of the world, a future patriarch who's a bit less patriarchal.
Now you're getting it. You can raise a son who rules with love and laughter as much as winning in war.
Laughter. Like the snickers at my back when I'm finally with child.
Oh, but they wouldn't dare.
Let them laugh. I laughed. That's why I'll name him Isaac, one who laughs.
See, it's all working out.
Thank God.
Just did.
I still think men should have more of the hard work, starting with Abraham. I'm giving up my body and the rest of my life. Shouldn't Abraham have to sacrifice something too?
Abraham?
Yes, some small sacrifice.
Don't you worry. The Holy One is way ahead of you.
What does that mean?
Sarah, believe me, Abraham will be asked to sacrifice too.
Curtain.
And so the lights.
Yes, it's right in town.
Oh, it's Face ID, I can't do your face. You can make your extension.
I'll let you go anywhere further than that. Hopefully my wife won't be too mad and take a picture. Here she comes.
She was in our time, right?
Oh, and more relatives.
This is my daughter. This is my son Zaid. This is his girlfriend's son.
Do you want pictures with everybody?
Sure. I'll get a lot of pictures with everybody. Come on over here. How is the turnout on Thursday night?
You're right, you gotta tease yourself. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Doing another one. Big smile. Okay, now we're gonna laugh.
Thank you.
Beautiful job, by the way. That was really great. And of course,
I feel like you did great.
Excellent job, yeah, very good.
yeah, it's a good plan. And the flavor.
Yeah, she's back there.
You're definitely staying tonight.
Oh, yeah, tell her how your plans. She said it would be never mind.
We might be taking away. Okay, all right. We have to make sure our kids get home safe. It's kind of important to us.
Well, the vaccine doesn't prevent illness, it prevents serious illness.
I live by myself, but then, well, exactly. Then I started so the location
Thank you.
Pomp by Allie Cantor. Characters Bethany and Christine. Time, the early evening on a Sunday. Place, Bethany's car in the woods on a road rumored to be haunted.
I thought there'd be more cars out here. Kids from my school used to drive out here every weekend.
Times have changed. Why would you drive to some sketchy road in the middle of nowhere and maybe see a ghost when you could sit in your house and watch an actual beheading on your phone?
Because this is a fun rite of passage and that glorifies literal terrorism.
I didn't say it was a good thing, but it is a thing. The world is so different now. Kids don't just hang out anymore. We're all so...
Isolated.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked me to come tonight, even if I'm just your chauffeur.
I know this isn't exactly your thing, but I wasn't a cool kid in high school, and none of my friends had a car back then, so if I don't do this now, I thought I might never get a chance. So why not, right?
I was just excited that you called. It's been a while. I missed you.
Yeah, well, 40-hour work week, you know? I wake up in the dark, I come home in the dark. I basically just sleep and work now. I haven't really even... Never mind.
No what?
It doesn't matter. I'm finally feeling better about things, and I don't want to mess up the spooky vibe.
Okay, so what exactly are we looking for?
She should be a woman in white walking along the side of the road.
Great, love that. What's her deal?
Oh, she got into a fight with her boyfriend on her way home from a date, and he accidentally killed her and buried her in these woods and drove off. And she's been trying to get home for half a century.
How do you accidentally bury someone in the woods?
That's not what I said, but good try.
So, if we see her, I'm supposed to what? Stop and let some random ghost into my car?
She is not a random ghost. She is a documented local specter. People have been seeing her out here for years.
Okay, so we pick up this documented local specter, TM. Then what? Sit back, relax, and enjoy your haunted minivan.
No, she gets in and asks you to take her home, but she is always gone when you get there. She's a hitchhiking ghost. It's a thing.
So what? There are like types, ghost types, like Pokemon.
Close to the water, they've got a widowed whaler's wife, waiting for her husband for eternity. You only see her when there's fog. Way out in the country, there's an escaped lobotomite. You only see her if you step off the main path by the old asylum after midnight. They're all women in white, but they each have their own thing.
Oh, like Ghost Barbie. You've got Malibu Ghosty, Hugs and Horses Ghosty, Fun Times Lobotomy Ghosty.
Exactly.
Do you think if I put on a white dress and stood by the side of the road and looked sad, random cars would stop and give me a ride?
You? Probably.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'd give you a ride.
You don't even drive.
If I did, I'd stop every time for you.
Maybe that's the secret to living in the suburbs without a car. You have to be dead.
Don't worry, I'm working on it.
What?
What?
No, what?
It was a joke.
I'm kind of worried about Ghosty.
Why?
Would you want to be remembered forever for the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
What do you mean?
Like, what if you had one bad date or one dumb choice? was your entire legacy for eternity. It's like the TikTok kids who haven't figured out that the internet is forever. Her afterlife is like one bad 30-second video on repeat for generations. That's scary.
I never really thought about it.
Like, what if Ghosty was really good at, what do old-timey people do? Churning butter. What if your hitchhiker had a passion for heirloom dairy products?
She died in the 1950s.
They had toasters in the 1950s, so they definitely had butter in the 50s. My point stands. She could have been really cool.
I doubt it.
Well, you're the expert. What was she into? Like, where'd she go on her hot date with the creepy murder boyfriend? Olive Garden?
I don't know.
Okay, then how old was she? Do you even know her name?
No, I don't, okay?
See, that's the point. Do we know anything about her?
I know she's alone out there.
Yeah, but I mean more like...
And she's just going through the motions. Nothing she does matters. She wears the same thing every day. Goes to the same place every day. And there's no variety, no light, and no color. She's trying to break out of the pattern, but every car is just another car. And the only choice she has is to get in the car or never rest, ever. And then even when she gets in the car, no matter how close she gets to breaking that cycle, she always ends up exactly where she started. So there was never any actual choice. There's no escape as long as she's on her road, and it is her road. There's no other road. The only thing that would help would be if she could figure out a way to go away. Just go away and stop.
Okay.
Maybe she used to be cool or more fun or whatever, but now she's just... And nobody wants to spend time with someone like that.
I bet she feels trapped. Like she doesn't really want to disappear, but maybe there are no easier solutions right now, and she's too tired for something else? I felt like that before. This might come as a shock, but I wasn't exactly the cool kid in high school either. Case in point, this is my first time taking this drive. And we might not have had YouTube beheadings back then, but we did have popular girls who were mean on the internet. Really mean. And I felt like I couldn't tell anybody that I was being tortured every day after school, let alone that I wanted to die. Do you? Do you want to die?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you told me. Do you have a plan? You don't have to say what. When?
When I get home.
But you called me first to come pick you up.
Sorry.
No, I love that. You were looking forward to something, and you trusted me to get you back home safe. That means a lot, actually. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Driving the hitchhiking ghost home is what restarts the bad loop, right?
We don't have to talk about that anymore. I was just...
Humor me. What if someone picked up the hitchhiking ghost and drove her somewhere else?
Like where?
I could take her to my apartment. We could talk if she wanted to talk. And I could run a bath for her and we could figure out how to call out sick for tomorrow, and she wouldn't have to worry about taking care of herself because I'd handle it for a little while.
Maybe.
She could rest, not become a scary story or a cautionary tale. Just rest. And isn't that all a ghost really wants to do? Really?
That and churn butter, apparently.
First things first, okay? Ready to go?
I guess. I was kind of hoping we'd see the ghost.
We could stay a little longer. If you want to stay a little longer.
Yeah, I do. I want to stay a little longer, if that's okay.
That's perfect.
They sit together quietly, gazing out over the woods for a moment, just silence. Suddenly, they both see something. They gasp, stunned and beaming. Curtain. The time, 1942. The place, the Washington, D.C. office of Norman H. Davis, the chairman of the American Red Cross. Davis is impeccably dressed, every inch the former international diplomat. He sits behind an imposing desk, flipping through a document of some sort. His phone rings.
Yes? Oh, no, that's all right. I'm expecting him. Please send him in.
Dr. Charles R. Drew enters, also impeccably dressed.
Dr. Drew.
Mr. Davis.
Please, sit down. Can I offer you anything? Coffee, perhaps?
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I know it's not my business, but...
But what?
You look tired. Your trip across town, how was it?
Excuse me?
Your drive from the medical school. I know this time of day the traffic can be especially...
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
I don't mean to be rude, but...
But you're very busy.
Yes.
As am I, as I'm sure you realize.
Yes, I would imagine so.
This damn war. We're all being stretched to the limit, aren't we? Beyond the limit, actually. Roosevelt, me, you, everyone.
The war, Mr. Davis?
Inescapable, isn't it? For all of us.
It's the reason I'm here.
So I gather.
My memorandum, you've read it?
I have.
And?
Let's talk about blood, shall we?
What?
An odd-sounding request, I know. Especially from someone in my position. I mean, just look where we are. The Red Cross, a monument to American ingenuity, American generosity. And like it or not, I'm the person in charge, the grand poobah, so to speak, sitting like some potentate behind a dark mahogany desk. This desk. So let's be honest for a second. The man in the street, he might assume I know everything there is to know about blood, wouldn't he? But in fact, you're the expert here, not me. Isn't that right?
If you're asking if it's my area of expertise, the answer is yes.
Oh, please, don't be so modest. You're not just an expert, you're the expert. And we both know it, too. I mean, when it comes to blood, the banking, the storing, you just about wrote the book, didn't you?
We're talking about science, Mr. Davis. A collective effort. In science, it's the team that matters, not the individual.
Except when we needed a leader. Someone to tell us how best to collect blood, store it. Especially when the troops so desperately need it. It's you we chose to head the division, wasn't it? Not just some generic member of the team. I mean, that's true, isn't it? Isn't that clearly the situation here?
Your initial question, can you repeat it?
I'll do even better than that. I'll refine it. Look, the point is this. We're all different, aren't we? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that any one person is better than another. I'm simply stating that differences exist, and we dishonor science if we don't candidly acknowledge those differences. Am I making sense?
If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Davis, your question had to do with blood, so maybe we can get back to it.
What I'm trying to say is the revised policy, the provisions, the restrictions. I know you don't agree with them.
You're right, I don't.
But fine, but at least acknowledge the process.
Process?
Dr. Drew,
what process?
Please allow me to continue. I want to assure you here and now that each and every provision of that policy was exhaustively discussed. There was input from multiple sources.
Not from me, there wasn't.
And for that, I apologize. But please, consider this. Time was of the essence.
Maybe time was, but obviously not accuracy.
I'm not following. What was inaccurate?
Oh, good God. Where to begin? Let's start with the science of blood, shall we? The revised policy, the policy you just put in place, that policy will affect many thousands, no tens of thousands of brave souls in the U.S. military who may require blood at some point. That policy boldly proclaims the following: that blood from the races will not be mixed, that white blood will not be transfused to Negroes, and colored blood will not be transfused to whites. Am I stating that correctly or am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Our revised policy, that's exactly what it stipulates. And you know who signed off on that policy? The highest-ranking physicians in both the Army and the Navy.
Really? Well, I don't care if the president himself signed off on it. The policy is nonsense.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes it is, and you know why.
Go ahead, I'm listening. Speak your piece.
Because blood is blood. There are no racial correlates. As long as the blood type matches, blood type doesn't matter.
See, now you're being naive.
Naive how?
Race does matter.
Not when it comes to blood.
No, blood or no blood, race always matters.
Do you even hear yourself? Do you realize how unscientific you sound?
Dr. Drew,
how illogical?
let me remind
how flat
you.
out stupid?
Do you know what your problem is?
I didn't know I had a problem.
You think that your science, the science of blood, is the only science there is.
I don't know what you're talking about. Science is science.
Only to you, not to the rest of us. To you, it's only about the science of blood. But I need to consider the larger picture here, especially given the circumstances.
What circumstances?
The war, the country, the times we're living in. And that entails more than just the science of blood. That also entails the science of psychology.
What?
You heard me. The science of psychology. Just think about it. All those fathers and mothers in the kitchens of America, their sons going off to war, maimed in battle, needing blood. Do you really think those people, the people in the kitchens of America, do you really think those people want their sons to receive the blood of someone who isn't white?
You're insane.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. You're a lunatic.
And you're being insubordinate.
Then fire me.
Let's take a step back, shall we? So we can consider the many ramifications here.
Like what?
Like enlistment, troop numbers. At the moment, everyone's gung-ho to serve, aren't they?
I don't see the connection.
You don't?
No. So why don't you explain it to me?
Fine, I will. Just listen carefully, that's all I ask. If the boys of America, the white boys, get wind of the fact that colored blood is in the system.
What?
That they may be the recipients of colored blood if, God forbid, they're injured.
Please stop. I don't want to hear any more of this.
What? You don't think there'd be an uproar?
You know what? We might as well terminate this conversation. And when I say terminate, I mean immediately.
Why?
Why? Because I'm talking science. I'm talking facts. And all you can do is focus on fear, paranoia.
Really? What about morale? Discipline on the battlefield? Do you really think officers will be able to control their troops when we can't even guarantee the very purity of our blood supply?
What did you just say?
Look, I understand you see things differently, and we're all entitled to our opinion, but my job is different from yours. Your job is to deal with the science behind the scenes. My job is to deal with everything aside from that. The politicians, the public, the rest of America.
The rest of America.
Exactly.
And you think the rest of America is worried about the racial purity of our blood supply?
Why, don't you?
Just listen to yourself. Do you know who you sound like right now?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Adolf Hitler. That's exactly who you sound like. Adolf Hitler.
No, I don't.
Sure you do. You just don't want to admit it. I mean, if we and the Nazis both believe in the same idiocy, why is there any need to fight them?
Are you calling me a Nazi?
No. I'm calling you exactly what you are. The head of the American Red Cross, a man who's obsessed with the racial purity of his blood supply, who feels the need to guard it from people like me. In short, a man not fit for his job, a man who won't let facts get in the way of his ignorance.
I'll say this. You're certainly right about one thing.
Really? What's that?
This conversation, it is now officially over.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Let me be blunt, Dr. Drew. You need to think hard, very hard, about your attitude.
My attitude?
Yes, your attitude. And just be glad I'm not firing you, at least not today.
Believe me, getting fired by you is not something I'm worried about.
Why? Because you have connections?
Connections? Me? You must have me confused with someone else. Maybe one of those weak-kneed politician friends of yours. But as God is my witness, even without connections, I'm not worried about you firing me. Not for a second.
Dr. Drew removes a sheet of paper from his jacket pocket and hands it to Davis.
What's this?
My letter of resignation. I won't give you the satisfaction of firing me. You don't deserve it. I quit.
Curtain.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks to all of our cast and the directors. Thanks to Jesse for the music. We wanted to take a couple of minutes to give you an opportunity to ask questions, make comments, think about what you've experienced tonight. Think about how it has given you experiences that you might not have had yourselves before. Think about what that might mean for you. So I'm going to actually open it up to our audience first. If you don't have anything to ask or say right now, that's fine, because I have a plan for our cast and our directors. But I would love to let you, the audience, have first opportunity to speak or ask a question if you have something. Yes.
This last play, Bad Luck, is that based on history? I mean, is that factual?
So Brave Blood is based on a real story, and I'm going to let our director tell you more about that. She had excellent information last night and taught me things I didn't know yet either.
Thanks. These are two real people, and it's very well known that Dr. Davis, am I getting the names right? Dr. Drew, Norman Davis, Dr. Drew, yes? So many plays. That these people both really existed, and he did work in that capacity. He was trained in the United States, but had worked in England with their blood bank and became very well known. And he came back to the United States to take this position at the Red Cross. I'm talking about Dr. Drew. And then there was a point where he resigned, and we don't know, of course, what the conversation was, but obviously there was a disagreement between the two of them, and this is the dramatic rendition that the playwright came up with. He went on to work at Howard University and train about half of the black surgeons that were working across the United States at that time. Sadly, he died at 45, too young. He was, he had been operating the night before, and he was driving down to, I think, Georgia with 3 interns, and they were sleeping, and he was tired, and the car rolled over. They could, the others survived. They could not save him. There's, you know how people like to dramatize these things. There was the rumor spread that they wouldn't treat him because he was in the South. That's not really true. They did everything they could. But he died too young, but left a wonderful legacy.
And
John, yeah.
I believe that policy was actually a real policy at that time as well.
Yes, yeah.
So that aspect is also accurate.
Lasted until 1950. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I would just, the Kaylee and Adlin really touched me, and I just wish, not that it would do any good, but I wish everyone in Congress could see that little play.
This is what I mean when I say theater has the ability to change us, to bring us information, experience that we don't have, and that can open us. I agree.
By the way, I think all the plays are outstanding, and the performers are outstanding.
Agreed. And this is why I said, like, from what I saw last night, the writing that we have received and been able to put on has been remarkable, and the same is true of this evening. I'm very, very grateful for it. Other questions or comments? Yes, please.
I think I've never been to anything like this, and I think it's a shame that it's not more widely spread about what this is. I think each and every one of you actors and what you said had a huge impact on me, and I think it's wonderful. And what you said about Nazism touched me because my parents
So, absolutely. And we would love for more people to hear these plays and to be able to be part of the audience for this in the future. This is only our second year. And so, and in fact, I was on sabbatical when this happened last time, so I missed the entire first year. So I'm delighted to be able to be here and to know what this is now. And I know that there's, I've already had conversations with one of our communications people who we've talked just very briefly this evening about how we might expand our advertising and marketing of this event so that more people can hear about it and come. Yes?
I was just thinking that my experience last year was similar to tonight, insofar as, number one, I love the space for seeing a play. When I came tonight, I was thinking, oh, I hope they're still going to be in the sanctuary, because it gave such a presence and such a different feel to the experience. That was wonderful, and I felt that last year as well. So it made me want to come to the show. Oh yeah, to do that again for sure.
I think we have a theater in our fellowship hall in the far back of the building. There's a stage, there's proscenium, the lights and all that, but it's old. And not as well maintained and not as up to date. The lighting is not what we would want it to be. And so maybe someday when that whole area gets refreshed, we could use that. But in the meantime, there's something very special to me about doing this kind of performance in our sacred performance space here. So I'm glad it's worked for you as well. Other thoughts or questions? Yes, please.
I also think, I grew up Jewish, and coming to this church it serves so many things and so many people, and the outreach you have, it is just amazing, and I think you're a blessed person.
Thank you. We are very, very fortunate here for sure. I would love, actually, to hear from our cast. What were your kind of experiences of tonight's plays? What struck you? I had mentioned before these themes of love and connection and violence and memory, surprise, doing the right thing. I know that those are still floating around for me. What came up for each of you in this work?
I think I had a big aha moment with Psycho Pom. My character was bubbly and happy-go-lucky, but at the end of the day, she was masking something too. And not only was I saving her, I think she saved me in a way. And so that was fun to build off, because at first, I was like, oh, this is a comedic role, I get to be funny. And as we built upon it, and Jennifer really brought her character to life, we sometimes go through this world and we think someone is a certain way, but really it might be, a cover-up for something else. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Layers upon layers.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Richard, please.
When we were doing last night and tonight, when Marcus and I were doing our play, it's because it's purely verbal. There are no sets, no scene, no lights, nothing. It made me feel the violence of words. We were pummeling each other up there, and that's what made it visceral, real.
No, you go first.
One thing I think particularly about a lot of the plays tonight, there were so many of them that really highlighted internal struggles. Whether it's the internal struggle in the first show of the man who lost his partner of 50 years, the struggle of the woman who lost her husband, the struggle of losing a twin, the struggle of feeling suicidal, all these internal struggles, they have different ways of coming out and they're for different things, but we all have them. And these were just some of those flavors.
Thank you.
I was going to say that I was among all of the directors / actors, Gretchen and Richard and Jennifer, of course, have seen these plays on the paper first. And the journey from reading it and saying, okay, that one might work, I can sort of envision it, or this one's brilliant, we've got to have this one, was just amazing. It comes to life, and every time we rehearse it, it blossoms more, and then you get in front of an audience, and oh my, especially when you laugh, which we love, or gasp. And we had a couple of plays tonight and last night that turn a corner in the middle. I call it the hinge, or the twist, or whatever. And you're maybe laughing or wondering what's going on or thinking this is just some happy situation, and then it becomes deadly or sad or violent, and you're like, oh, that's what it's really about. That's what this relationship is. And our actors, the actors themselves, they have been and continue to be extraordinary. I mean, we are so lucky to have these people who volunteer their time, by the way. Someday maybe we'll have enough to, throw them at things. Actors always starving. But it's because of them, the words and the acting, and that's why it was so great. I think it was great. Hey. A little bit.
Thank you. Any other thoughts? Yes, please.
Everybody's talked about the plays and stuff already, so kind of feel the same way, pretty much what everyone said, but I would just like to thank all of you for coming out. I'd like to thank Michelle for a great play and being able to bring it to life in a way that's pleasing to her. I would like to thank my very good friends. No matter what I'm doing, she's always here. And I would also like to thank my family who came from Philly, who came from Boston. Hopefully I'll be part of this again next year, and we're going to advertise even more and more, and we're going to fill this up.
I would love that.
Because this is great, and I thank you, Patrice, for calling me and allowing me to be part of this experience. So I thank you very, very much. And I'd like to thank Betsy, too, because Betsy is the first person that introduced me to theater, so thank you.
Thank you.
So we can relatively comfortably, I mean, it's full, but relatively comfortably fit 200 people in here. And right now we have about a quarter of that. I would be delighted to see this room packed. I just wanted to check, as one of our playwrights, did you have anything that you wanted to say? Or are you content to leave it with everyone else?
No, I think it's fabulous. I have done a few things like this, mostly at theaters. It's the first time I've done one at a church. It's a wonderful space. I also appreciate that people are coming from all walks of life, and we might not all be theater people. Usually when you do a festival, it's other theater people who tend to go to these things. So it's really hearing your thoughts, and I appreciate you being here and hearing so many different plays. Well, it's really great to be part of something so diverse.
Thank you, and thank you for submitting and being a part of this. This was lovely, and honestly, I think in the midst of everything that we had, having something that offered the lightness as well as truth and meaning in it was a real boon for the evening. So thank you. Yes, please.
Just want to tell everybody, word of mouth is just huge. So if everybody in here loved it as much as I did, just like spread the word as much as you can.
We will get our third annual Fern Street Play Festival organized as quickly and as reasonably as we can, I suspect. Anything else? Yes, please.
I like that each story had a life lesson within it.
I think that was one of the ideas behind the Play Festival originally, the very first one, and continued through this one, was that the work all kind of needed to help give life to the things that we as a congregation value. Making life better for everyone, thinking deeply about who we are and how we exist, all of those sorts of things. And so it's not surprising to me that each one of these one acts has at least one life lesson tucked into it. I think that was part of the criteria of choice that you all used, was that it had to offer something valuable to the audience and to, frankly, to all of us, the actors and the directors too. If there's nothing else, we have had a delightful evening. I would love to offer another round of applause for our directors and performers. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. We